But first, often associated with hairy bikers, the Harley Davidson is an iconic motorbike. They certainly have a famous heritage from Hollywood to biker gangs. But what goes into making this highway hellraiser? Well, there are many secrets to a world-famous motorbike, but the one feature that is most often overlooked is the frame. The wheels, engine and handlebars need a solid structure to attach to. These steel tubes are perfect, lightweight but strong. Although the company started out in 1903 producing only 3 complete bikes in their first year, today over 500 frames are produced at this one factory every day. Robots are used to speed up the process, and they help produce a high-quality finish. In addition to the use of robots, some of the welding is done by hand, as the machines can't reach some awkward spots. The completed subframe is heavy, so a crane is used to remove it from the workbench once it's done. The classic look often includes mud guards, and these are made using sheet steel. An enormous press shapes the steel into the traditional retro-style curves that are still a popular feature on these bikes. After the first press has molded the mudguard into its signature shape, another one cuts away the excess metal. The grinder removes the rough edges, and it's ready to go. Another part of the bike pressed from sheet steel is the petrol tank. The tank is made of 3 different parts. 2 halves separated with a middle block so that it can sit over the subframe that has just been built. A laser cutter slices the tank shape in half. This gives it a perfect edge for when it gets re-welded later. Because they'll be filled with petrol, the tanks must be built carefully. Some bike manufacturers hire other companies to do it for them, but at Harley Davidson, they produce their tanks themselves. Taking great care with his hands, the worker operates the roller welder which joins the sides back to back. They now have a space in the middle to take the third part which fits neatly between the 2 halves. A spot more welding and the completed tank is nearly done. However, it's not just the build quality that's important. This worker's job is to ensure the new tank has a flawless surface, so it looks good as well as functions perfectly. Next, an engineer will take the finished tank, seal it and immerse it in this bath of water. If he sees a single bubble rise to the surface, the tank will be rejected. However, if it passes inspection, it can be sent on to the paint room. First, the different parts all have to be washed. The paint will only adhere to the metal if the surfaces are spotlessly clean. A variety of colour schemes are used. The workers will also tape up different parts. This means several colours can be used to paint one element, giving them a traditional 2-tone effect. For that extra special retro look, additional coloured stripes are drawn on by hand, using these special templates and paint rollers. And finally, the badge of honour. Using a laser sight, the worker can line up the stickers so they are in exactly the right place every time. Gleaming V-twin engines now arrive at the factory. Their throaty roar is an important part of the motorbike's appeal. The bikes can now be built. The subframe is first, and the engine is neatly fitted into place. Next comes the petrol tank, wrapped in cellophane to protect its custom paint job. The shaped mudguards or fenders are added on, but there's one major component still missing. Ah yes, the wheels. Modern motorbike wheels are made of a solid lightweight alloy, but despite being a fiddle to clean, old-fashioned wire rims are still popular on some Harleys. When the chrome is in this brand new sparkling condition, you can see why. Keeping with tradition, the rims are fitted with white wall tyres and slotted into place. Engineers need to test the finished products, but they don't venture out onto the open road. Instead, they open up the throttle and let rip in a closed room. Known as a rolling road, this device lets the engineer drive the bike at up to 130 kilometers an hour. Let's hope the rollers keep turning or he'll be leaving the room very quickly. The suspension is also very important. It's so tough that during World War II, these bikes were used as off-road vehicles. More than 80,000 of them were used as courier bikes during the conflict. Once complete, the bikes are shipped out to dealers all over the world. Immortalized in movies like The Terminator and Easy Rider, the Harley is still king of the road.